All right, so it's time to focus on the future of CX. It's time to hear some incredible stories from one of the best in the class of CX. Well, we did not let the MD and RVP India and SAARC from Zendesk leave the backstage. So allow me to please once again rope in Mr. KG Prasad. It's over to you.
Thank you, Shika. Real pleasure to be here. I think some great conversations, and I'm pretty sure everybody who joined for the session today are enjoying and learning some for sure. And today, very good afternoon. Before I start, I think today I want to talk about a little bit about future of CX, and all of you would have heard, with every speaker, panelist talking about things have changed dramatically. Yes, they did. 2020, 2021, everything had changed, and so has the customer expectations. I think the lines are getting blurred, where customers today will start the journey with you probably somewhere in digitally, and then probably could complete entire journey on digital. But also there could be a possibility where they need to be in physical. So you got to think about digital experience first, and that is the first pivot that I would say future of CX, has arrived. Now, these customer engagement preferences that I just talked about it have changed dramatically. I think the new reality, I think if you guys have heard some of the panelists talking about COVID wave one, I think it came, we were not prepared. COVID wave two, we were underprepared. Wave three, I think there is a lot of preparations and anticipation. I think we have to live with this pandemic some form of other. I think this is going to be the new reality, and the new reality, the customers' expectations changing faster, and the businesses need to adapt and embrace those. Now, let me just give you a reflection back. Now, in the last 18 months or so, the messaging has become people choice in India. Now, 93%, that's actually close to 100% actually, Indian consumers have tried at least one new channel. And 61% of those customers have seen the biggest jump, the business have seen messaging as the biggest jump in the channel of choice for customers. Now, what that means, not just customers and their expectations are changing, but if you heard previous speakers speaking about, there is a new customers who e-commerce are seeing. If you talk about retail, where customers used to go and buy things at mom and pop stores, in pandemic they all started digital journey. They come with a different set of expectations, and they all tried one new channel is what the key takeaway. Now if you look at conversation businesses, and those conversation businesses got a big push, not from any one of us and customers and businesses, but also the biggest tech companies out there in the world. Look at Google. Back in June last year, there is a business messaging and talking about embedding conversation experience and map and search results have happened. While Apple is a big brand, but maybe iMessages is not really deeply entrenched in India market, but still see the intent of this company, the largest tech company in the world, right, from the market cap perspective. The Apple Business Chat widely available. Look at WhatsApp, the darling of messaging channel for India. This is a channel that most of us talk to our friends and family, and it's also the most channel that customers feel comfortable to talk to a business. And with all the regulatory delays and everything else, back in last year, WhatsApp rolled out, in-chat payments in India, and recorded 100 billion daily messages. And also, last but not least, look at Facebook. How Facebook really advanced their private messaging vision, allowing Facebook Messenger and Instagram users to cross-platform integrate, discuss. You will get to see the reels and vice versa. You can chat with others. I think bringing in all of that flavor, it gives you very good, clear vision how the large business companies are thinking about it. Now, if you think this is only for digital first and digital savvy companies, that's not very true. And I want to bring in one example today, probably not the digital savvy one, Pay Nearby. And if you guys are not sure about what Pay Nearby, and I wanted to go check out, but I'll give you a little bit of perspective. And I think what Pay Nearby really does, I think change the perspective of how banking gets done in India. Now, banking generally happens in the four walls of the wall, in a office. But actually, Pay Nearby really taken it to branchless banking. Covers about 17,500 postal codes across the India, and mostly tier 5, 6, 7, and bottommost. That's about 85% of consumers in India are the ones which is the target, which is not generally targeted by most fintech companies, but Pay Nearby felt that's a great opportunity. They do record about 10 lakh daily transactions on the platform. So what they do, just giving a perspective for somebody, some of you don't know, imagine these daily workers and daily wage laborers who work in remote places. They come up from their villages, they come into major cities, they work in a construction site. At the end of the month, they receive their salary, or maybe end of the day they receive their daily wages, and they want to send some money back to their family. Now imagine they going into a bank and depositing that money for the family account would require and kill half of the day, and that means they will lose their wages. Now Pay Nearby felt that's a great opportunity for them to go disrupt that market and also provide technology. They work with mom and pop stores across the globe and across India. Also, several of these merchants where the same daily wage laborer can go and deposit the money using Pay Nearby app. With the mom and pop store, they will help you to transfer that money to the near and dear. Now that really revolutionized the business, and I think it's a very good perspective of how you look at and drive digital adoption in the market. Now, going back and looking at how it was decentralized support, there are multiple support teams across and field teams, and it happens to some of you are also listening. Maybe the field teams and some of the different people on WhatsApp groups and individual WhatsApp groups, not really managed and tracked by businesses, but entire business conversations happens there. Second, the pandemic and lockdown, imagine their revenues and tracking on the platform bookings were all the way from 200 million. Due to pandemic, it has come down to close to 75% drop in the revenue. Now, what really that caused Pay Nearby mean? Pay Nearby said, this is a great opportunity for us to stay focused on the platform and customers and build those technology for a greater CX. Now, of course, this was Zendesk, and we, what Zendesk really helped us bring in automation. It also driven a lot of no-touch resolutions or one-touch resolution. And more importantly, making WhatsApp personal groups coming into business communication on WhatsApp, so that you can track those messages and ensure that there is a sanity, and also there is a communication, which is a favorite channel of choices, can still be used, but it's all business account. Bringing all of this, what really happened, it's given a great opportunity for addressing the market. But if you think that this all is magical, let me just roll out a simple video just to give you a flavor of what technology that I'm talking about, what Pay Nearby used. Sorry, and that looks beautiful, right? And this is what every customer wants. Every customer wants means every business needs to adopt. That means imagine you are providing this great technology, allowing your customers a channel of choice, but still bringing the entire thread of conversations and discussions into one single thread of conversation, so that you can still feels that you really can personalize the experience. That means a customer, imagine, has the entire previous historical conversation that they had with you at the business, so they can look at how you've been responding to them. And the agent who is responding to the customers have a historical conversation with customer, what kind of customer troubles and challenges that they had. More importantly, maybe in the customer journey, you had a bot that is helping the customer in the first interaction, and then eventually transfer to human agent. All of that still tightly available for agent to have respond to the customer. Now, if this is what a beautiful technology that we think will revolutionize how CX get played in the days to come, we want to give you 3 best practices for you to take away. Number 1, reduce the inbound volume with automation, and also do not remove the human touch. What it means that actually build an automation with a human touch. Now, you can look at automation as a clear aspect of driving scalability. There's no doubt. You can look at the business process and see automation can solve it. Please do it. Remember, more importantly, your customer wants to get from A to B. That means they want to reach out to you because they're not got what they need, and they want you to help your help to get them from wherever they are today to the next place. That means it might not be the what which can solve the problem. Automation cannot solve the problem. So put in a human interaction there, and let human come and solve the problem. But more importantly, give that option, what can solve the problem, what can help, give the channel of choices to the customer. And when you customers have the choice, they make the right decisions and the experience drives better. I think that's the number one. Automation is the key, but with a human touch. Now, if you're thinking about how Zendesk can really help, really can help you with the personalized interactions. I talked about you can define a CX customer experience journey using Zendesk Flow Builder, and the Flow Builder will help you to define all the way from welcome message to, okay, you want a bot to handle XYZ queries, and the customer chooses, a different query, then basically a bot will not address that. It'll actually transition to human. You can define all of that in a Flow Builder. You can also define what bot can solve, where does your help center or a self-service can solve, where would a human would come and solve it. And all of that beautifully available to you in the power so that, you can really do the right stuff for your customers. Now, second best practice, collect important customer information upfront. Now, what happens, before even a bot or anything else, just make sure that use probably a bot. Why not? Use a bot to collect customer basic information so that you know what's the customer details are, and you also know why the customer is reaching out to you today. Is it for a sales? Is it for a post sales? If it's for a post sales, what is the issue that they're reaching out? That will help you to effectively route that customer interaction and stuff to the right person and the subject matter expertise to solve the problem. Second, don't forget the conversation history is super, super important. Something like messaging that you've seen today, it has a historical conversation there. That means if a customer is reaching out to you for a follow-up on the problem that they've raised with you and it's not resolved, and imagine the agent is asking, why are you reaching out to us? What can we help you with? And the customer would say, what? I've already raised 2 queries. I have this ticket IDs or whatever. You've still not been able to. That really drives a bad experience. Imagine the agent already has all the relevant information with them, and they can straight away get to the solving of the problem rather than, getting into what. Very important is third aspect, unify all the customer conversations in one place so that, it might be integrating your internal teams like a finance teams, your logistics teams and everybody together so they can collaborate together to drive a better customer experience. It could be a Slack integration where you need to talk to engineering team. It could be, a CRM system or maybe a ERP system that you need to integrate, or a logistics system that you need to integrate to really make sense of what the customer is talking about so that you can drive a better conversation. Now, like I talked about unification, the simplest way to do it, actually keep your business software connected. That's number one that I've talked about it. Second, extend the customer relationship. Take every opportunity that you have to really build the relationship. When you stop focusing on technology, start interacting with the customer and solving the problem, I think you build the relationship. More importantly, in today's world, where there's aggregators, that means there are sellers, there is customers, and there's aggregators. If you have multiple people, it could be in the food tech industry where you place an order on your favorite choice of a platform, but they're aggregating a restaurant at the back end. But to solve a problem, you might need to have a restaurant, you as a consumer, as well as the business to come together to solve a customer problem. Absolutely. Make it a group chat so that you can drive a better effective customer communication. Remember, it is customers who are buying from your brand, not from anything else. I've already talked about customer view of a complete view of a customer is integrating all of that integral parts of it to make better customer conversation. But finally, as next steps, if you've seen 3 best practices, there are 5 more, and you can get all of that by scanning this QR code. Alternatively, you can just visit Zendesk booth and you can get the information about all the 8 best practices in building the great messaging platform for you. Connect with a Zendesk expert who can actually also tell you a ton of things that I've told you and also other things. And if you want to get more information about Zendesk, kind of follow us on social media at Zendesk. With that, I want to say thank you for a great opportunity, and also thank ET and all of you for a patient listening. Over to you, Sika.
Thank you, Mr. Prasad, and thank you for also making my task easier, which is urging all my audience members to make sure that they visit the booths out there. And as you spoke to us, delivering unmatchable real-time customer experience that matters the most stood out as a key takeaway for me, for the rest of you. Whatever you learn, make sure you're sharing that across over on social media using our official hashtag. Mr. Prasad, thank you very much again. And with that, I have my eyes on the next session, because I'm particularly fascinated with how it's being titled. Well, what's that? I will just let you know. Visit the partner booths. We will be right back.